Season 3 for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 launched yesterday, and with the Season 3 update, we got a lot of content in Warzone and in Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer. I mean, heck, let's briefly look at the roadmap here, which I'm sure all of you have already seen a million times, and I'm pretty much already up to date on everything that's been added within Season 3 and what's going to be added within Season 3 Reloaded. But when I first looked at this roadmap, I was impressed, especially on the multiplayer side of things, because multiplayer has had very lackluster of content, at least when it comes to original content anyway. And of course, we are still seeing great updates within DMZ, which I am really happy to go back in and try out. And with this roadmap, it gave me a lot of hope for Season 3 to be good. And I have yet to experience everything that we've seen on this roadmap, of course. The season just started. I've only played for a couple hours, so I haven't had too much game time actually trying all these things out. But unfortunately, with a new Call of Duty update, there always has to be something negative to come out that we see spreading across the community. And on day one of Season 3, and even to this day, I mean, it's only the second day of the season, people are still discussing how these new bundles are going to be treated, because unfortunately right now, if you go into the Modern Warfare 2 shop, you can see a bundle that is called Bomb Squad, and within this bundle you get a few different items, one of them being an EOD specialist skin that gives you a medium backpack when you spawn into a DMZ match. So if you were to use one of your active duty slots that you have in the menu, and that operator doesn't have any items at all, if you were to go into a DMZ match with this EOD specialist skin, you will actually get a medium backpack right off the bat. You don't have to loot it or anything. Every time you spawn in, you will always have this medium backpack. I don't know how this would work if you use this character and you eventually find a larger backpack, and whether or not that's gonna replace the larger backpack the next time you go into a DMZ match. I don't know if that will change at all. It probably won't, at least I hope not. But also within this bundle, there's something called the Boom Proof Blueprint, which is for an LMG, and this boom-proof blueprint has a 15-minute cooldown timer on it, because for those of you who are familiar with DMZ, you know that if you don't exfil successfully in a match, you lose all those items that you gathered and that you brought in with you, and so that insured weapon that you lost, there is a cooldown time period. It's around an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and 30 minutes, I don't know, it's been a little while since I played DMZ, but this blueprint in particular, if you lose it in a DMZ match, it's only a 15-minute cooldown, which is quite a big jump from an hour. And also within this bundle, you get yourself an extra active duty slot, which of course is a new feature added into the game, where you can have multiple operators that you can choose from to go into a DMZ match. So that way you're not at risk losing everything once you go into DMZ. I mean, I think the extra duty slots is a great addition to the game. Everybody by default has 3 of them, but I also noticed something kind of fishy during their when they released their blog post, and they were talking about these active duty slots, because the images they showed to us, the images that they gave us, showed there was going to be 4 active duty slots, but apparently there's only 3, and even in the blog post they said there's only 3 duty slots, and I thought maybe it was a typo. Well, it turns out, I mean, you can actually get 4 active duty slots, you just have to buy the Bomb Squad bundle, and I can understand why people might not think this is a big deal, considering, you're just getting a medium backpack within the EOD specialist skin. It's not a large backpack, because you can surpass that backpack and get something larger. But also same with the blueprint. It's well, there's a lot of other guns in the game that might be better than this blueprint, and then the extra active duty slot, I guess, is just whoever's opinion, right? And so I can see why people look at this bundle and they don't really consider it to be that big of an issue when it comes to a pay-to-win situation when it comes to playing DMZ, but it is still pay-to-win nonetheless. And this, of course, can spread into something worse than what we see right now. And in matter of fact, it will actually get worse, because with the Season 3 update, of course, people are able to data mine the game files and discover that there's going to be more bundles added to the game. And if you even go back onto the roadmap, you can even see the new bundles that are going to be added. And you can see on the left side of these new bundles, we are going to be getting one called Dark Rituals 2 and a classic Ghost Skin pack. And those 2 bundles right there are also pay to win bundles for DMZ. So looking over the classic ghost skin pack here, you get 2 different types of classic ghost skins, and both of them are going to give you an advantage in DMZ. The one that I know for sure grants you a 2-plate armor vest every time you spawn in. Yes, of course, there are 3-plate armor vests in DMZ, so of course, you can't upgrade past that. But still, if you are using an active duty slot that isn't using anything at all, for example, you can just spawn in right away with like literally no effort whatsoever, and you already have a 2-plate vest, where like other people that you might be playing with, whether it's your friends or randoms, and they don't have anything, they're only going to have 1 plate on their vest. And so you're already going to have an advantage over those players because you bought this bundle. And the other ghost skin, I don't know what kind of like reward that gives you or what kind of benefit it holds when you use it in game. I imagine it's going to be the same thing, but based on these leaked images, which unfortunately I can't show you guys, they do actually show there are DMZ advantages when equipping them, but the screenshot that we see isn't actually hovered over them, so I don't actually know for sure what the benefits are. But the other ghost skin in this pack does grant you a DMZ benefit, probably a 2-plate vest once again, but there's also 2 weapon blueprints in this bundle that also grant you a DMZ benefit, and you also get another extra active duty slot. Now let's move on to the Dark Rituals 2 bundle, right? So the Sinister skin that you get within this bundle gives you a self-revive every time you go into a DMZ match. A fucking self-revive, you guys. I mean, it's already clearly getting worse as we look into these bundles, essentially, and we know that Dark Rituals 2 and the classic Ghost Pack are coming because they have it on the fucking roadmap. I mean, it's not, looking at, like, game files and data mining, of course, it's very legitimate information, and they usually do come into the game. Of course, Activision can always, like, pull these off to the side and change it later on, and maybe they will because the people are talking about this a lot right now. But the Dark Rituals 2 skin, or the Sinister skin part of the Dark Rituals 2, you get a self-revive every match, which is a huge benefit within DMZ. I mean, that is huge, a very, very good benefit. And this also has 2 weapon blueprints that also have some sort of DMZ benefit, and you get an extra active duty slot. But guess what? What isn't shown on the roadmap is another bundle that was actually leaked called Rose and Thorn, and sure enough, you guessed it, it's a Rose skin bundle. And so the Thorns Out skin that's part of this bundle gives you a UAV every match that you spawn in to DMZ. A UAV. So if you're playing something like Ashika Island or maybe Building 21, for example, like a smaller map than Al Mazrah, it's a lot easier to come across gunfights with real players, not just bots. And if you're playing Ashika Island, for example, and you spawn into the match, you can easily pop this UAV right away and know where enemy players are at, especially if you know where the kind of spawn locations are on Ashika Island. So the UAV at the start of a DMZ match is extremely powerful, just as powerful as having a self-revive every match that you spawn into. I mean, that is insane. And of course, part of this Rose and Thorn bundle, it also has 2 weapon blueprints with DMZ advantages and an extra active duty slot. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know if there's just not enough people playing DMZ right now. I'm not sure if that's the reason whatsoever, and that's why we see these bundles have those advantages and how they're starting to become pay to win at this point. And I get that it is in DMZ and not in Warzone, or excuse me, Battle Royale. I guess DMZ is still technically considered Warzone. But regardless, I can see the arguments how these could technically be more unfair if you were playing Warzone, for example, because you're always playing real players in a Battle Royale scenario. But for DMZ, it could also be considered to be even worse in the case for DMZ, because pretty much every item that you gather in the game and that you exfil with is going to be important one way or the other. And, there were some great updates we got within Season 3 for DMZ. They add the extra duty slots, which, of course, now they're monetizing, which is fucking insane. And then, of course, they have a crafting system that they're implementing into the game as well, which will make things way more interesting than it was before. And so, really, all these great content and free updates we got within DMZ for Season 3 really makes me want to go back and play, because I really enjoyed this mode when it first came out, and I kind of held it off for a while because I've really been getting into ranked play for Modern Warfare 2. And so seeing the roadmap and seeing what we got within Season 3, I want to go back and jump into DMZ. And then, of course, with these bundles come out and making the mode pay to win at this point, which is something I am not happy about. And so I have no idea why the fuck Call of Duty has gone into this direction. I mean, it's obvious that they're just trying to monetize the shit out of this franchise, and they are not doing anything to make this game good again, or at least the franchise good again, that is. It just seems like every year after year, we just always cross our fingers, especially me as a hardcore Call of Duty fan who wants the Call of Duty franchise to be good because I loved it so much back in the day, and it's just continuing to get worse. And these bundles are not helping the situation at all, let alone for a brand new mode called DMZ we've never seen before in a previous Call of Duty game. And this is their first take on it, and I really think they have something going here. But man, making these bundles pay to win now is not the way to go. And I don't know what Activision needs to do to really gain the trust of the Call of Duty community, because at this point, we are very pissed off. Content creators are mad because they're getting blamed for hyping up this update, even though it's not really their fault, because they were misled with a conference call with the developers themselves because they kind of overhyped it for them. And you can't blame content creators like myself for getting hyped for an update like this before the update even came out. And I saw this roadmap, I read the blog post they put out. I was thinking to myself, man, this is going to be the best season for Modern Warfare 2 so far. And I think so far it technically is content-wise, but it's insane how much they're just not listening to the community and how out of touch they really are with the Call of Duty franchise. Because if these developers were playing their own game, I think we would see a lot of these issues, like glaring issues, that will actually be fixed, or we will just never see them in the first place. I mean, I don't know what needs to be done for Call of Duty to be good at this point. I haven't really covered DMZ in a while now. I have made few of my videos, I guess few of my previous videos have actually been DMZ videos, I believe. And so DMZ is something I enjoy. And so I really wanted to come back and make this video because I am not happy with the way these bundles are being treated. But I'm going on long enough. This video is over 12 minutes long right now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. I do plan on covering the content that we see within this update probably in my next video. I'm going to try and make sure that that video is at least uploaded over the weekend, and because I do need to put some more time into the Modern Warfare 2 and just kind of try out the gunfight maps, the multiplayer maps, and maybe the Warzone content. I don't know. We'll see if I play Warzone or not, but I definitely will be playing DMZ because there are some good updates with it, but the bundles really just bring a bad taste on my mouth. And so I'd love to know what your guys' opinions are down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with me outside of YouTube, and of course follow me on Twitch, where I do go live occasionally. And matter of fact, I probably go live more than I upload videos, at least as of right now, because of my new living situation, which I'm still kind of trying to adjust to. And in fact, this is technically my first video recording in my new location that I'm living in. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall catch you guys later.